Hi everyone, welcome back to week 14 of the 2013 NFL season. I can't do my video at work, I have to do it at home again where I used to do them. I'm kind of pressed for time, so let's get right into it. The first game we're going to look at against the spread is Houston going to Jacksonville, where the Jags are 3-point dogs at home, despite the fact that Houston has lost 10 straight games, including losing just 11 days ago to Jacksonville in Houston. Now they're 3-point favorites. I don't understand it. I don't know if Vegas is setting a trap for us. I could understand if this was a pick'em game, but the Texans are favored by 3. I don't get it. So let's take the points and let's take Jacksonville plus 3. The second game we're going to look at has Detroit going to Philadelphia, where the Eagles are 3-point favorites at home. Detroit has had a hard time keeping the ball the last 3 games. They've had 12 turnovers in the last 3 games. And they're -8 on the year in turnovers. Meanwhile, since Nick Foles has taken over at quarterback for Philadelphia, he's really protected the football. 0 interceptions, and the team has only had 1 fumble lost, ironically enough, by Foles. The games are decided a lot in the NFL by turnovers. If you win the turnover battle, you win the game. And 3 points is a small price to pay. So let's take Philadelphia -3. The third game we're going to look at has Buffalo going to Tampa Bay, where the Buccaneers are 2.5-point favorites at home. The Bills just can't win outside of Buffalo. They're 1-4 on the road straight up. As a matter of fact, they really are 1-5 because last week they played a home game in Toronto. They didn't win. That's what happens when you have a rookie quarterback. You just don't win on the road. Tampa Bay has been playing really well. They won 3 games in a row. That's sort of sandwiched in between losses last week against Carolina, and before that, 5 weeks ago, Seattle. I mean, 2 of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. As a matter of fact, the Bucs' last home loss was another game to Carolina. Obviously very good. Buccaneers are playing excellent football. I'm not sure if the Bills can keep up with them. Let's lay the points, and let's take Tampa Bay -2.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at has Oakland going to New York to take on the Jets. Oakland is traveling from one corner of the country to the other. They don't travel very well either. They're 0-12 straight up in their last 12 visits to the Eastern time zone. I know that the Jets have had trouble at quarterback with Geno Smith, but they're not going to lose 2 in a row at home, I don't think, especially to a team that does not travel well. Oakland is a better running team than they are a passing team. The Jets are number 1 against the run. That's going to mean that the Raiders are going to have to beat them through the air. I don't think they will, because I don't think they have the ability to, and there might be a pick 6 or 2. So let's lay the points, and let's take the New York Jets -3. We'll get right into the over-under plays. Haven't done very well on these last couple of weeks, so maybe I should have a laugh track. But we're going to bounce back. Here, the first game we're going to look at is Carolina going to New Orleans. That number is 46. Both of these teams have only had 4 overs all year, so they've been playing a lot of under games. Since Carolina's been on that nice streak of 8 straight wins, they've really played solid defense, only allowing 16.5 points against, and even less on the road, 12 points against. Now the Saints obviously score a lot more points in the Dome, but they're coming off the short week. And in Seattle, they actually had to stay in Seattle the extra night. They got tossed around pretty bad against the physical Seattle Seahawks. Now they get another physical game against Carolina. The schedule maker hasn't been kind to the Saints at all. I think this is going to be a very low-scoring game, kind of like 20-17. So let's take under 46. The second game we're going to look at has St. Louis going to Arizona. That number is 41.5. These 2 teams played in week 1. It was a pretty high-scoring game, 51 points or so. Arizona's really picked it up offensively. As a matter of fact, of their 6 home games, they're averaging about 27 points at home. They've only scored 22 twice, and that was against Carolina and Seattle, teams that I keep mentioning with very good defenses. Vegas has this line at around 6.5, so if Arizona scores their 27 points or so, this should be like a 27-20 game. Should sail well over the number, so let's take over 41.5. The third game has Tennessee going to Denver. That number is 49.5. Denver had a couple of unders a couple of weeks ago, but they're back to doing what they do really well, scoring a lot of points. Tennessee scores a lot of points as well. They're 8-4 over. Denver's 10-2 over. So let's take over the 49.5. And the fourth game we're going to look at is the Monday Nighter, as Dallas goes to Chicago. The number's 49.5. As I said, both teams have played 8 of their 12 games over the number. Neither teams are playing very good defense recently. As a matter of fact, Chicago, out of their 7 games outside of their division, 6 of those games have gone over. They play the unders inside their division. Well, this is not a divisional game, so let's take over 49.5. Okay, here are my straight up plays. We'll start off with tonight's game, the Thursday nighter. In a bit of an upset, I talked about this game earlier. I like Jacksonville over Houston. KC should be able to beat Washington, who is really struggling right now. Baltimore should take care of my Minnesota Vikings. New England should romp over Cleveland. I talked about how the Jets should take care of Oakland pretty easily. Cincinnati and Indianapolis should be a close game, but I like Cincinnati here. Upset number 2, I like Carolina to beat New Orleans in a real hard-fought game. I'll take Philadelphia over Detroit, a game I talked about. Pittsburgh should squeak by Miami. Tampa Bay, a game I talked about, should take care of Buffalo. Denver should have no problem with Tennessee. Arizona, St. Louis, another game I talked about. I like the Cardinals at home. Upset number 3, let's take the Giants over the Chargers. Why not? The Chargers never do what they're supposed to do, so we'll take an upset there. San Francisco at Seattle, wow, that's a tough one. I'll take San Francisco simply because Seattle is on the road and they're playing on a short week. Green Bay should squeak one out against Atlanta, who probably won't win 2 in a row on the road. And upset number 4 is the Monday nighter I talked about. I like Dallas squeaking by the Chicago Bears. Okay, so those are my picks for this week. Good luck to you. Don't forget to leave your nominations for the upcoming 3rd annual Geo Knows Awards. You can nominate your favorite videos in 5 different categories. Video of the Year, Best Prognosticator, Best Duo, Best Video Editing, and Most Entertaining Prognosticator. Just leave your nominations in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I really appreciate that. And visit my website, geoknows.com. Okay, for the Geo Knows YouTube channel, I am Geo. Let's take the man's money.